Welcome to Centinela de Cristo.
Blessings, this is Pastor Louis Luciano from Oklahoma. Monday, July the 21st. Who hardened Pharaoh's heart? Read Exodus chapter 7, verses 3 to 13, verse 14, and verse 22. How do we understand these texts? 9 times in Exodus, the hardening of Pharaoh's heart is ascribed to God. Exodus chapter 4, verse 21. Exodus chapter 7, verse 3. Exodus chapter 9, verse 12. Exodus chapter 10, verse 1 through 20, and verse 27. Exodus chapter 11, verse 10. Exodus chapter 14, verses 4 to 8. See also Romans chapter 9, verses 17 and 18. Another 9 times Pharaoh is said to have hardened his own heart. Exodus chapter 7, verses 13 and 14, and verse 22. Exodus chapter 8, verses 15 to 19, verse 32. Exodus chapter 9, verses 7 to 34, and verse 35. Who hardened the king's heart, God or Pharaoh himself? It is significant that in the Exodus story of the 10 plagues, in each of the first 5 plagues, Pharaoh alone was the agent of his heart hardening. Thus, he initiated the hardening of his own heart from the 6th plague on. However, the biblical text states that it was God who hardened Pharaoh's heart. Exodus chapter 9, verse 12. What all this means is that God strengthened or deepened Pharaoh's own choice, his willful action as God had told Moses he would do. Exodus chapter 4, verse 21. In other words, God sent plagues to help Pharaoh repent and to free him from the darkness and error of his mind. God did not create fresh evil in Pharaoh's heart. Instead, he simply gave Pharaoh over to his own malign impulses. He left him without God's restraining grace and thus abandoned him to his own wickedness. See Romans chapter 1, verses 24 to 32. Pharaoh had his free will. He could choose for or against God, and he decided against. The lessons are obvious. We have been given the ability to choose between right and wrong, good and evil, obedience or disobedience. From Lucifer in heaven to Adam and Eve in Eden, to Pharaoh in Egypt, and to us today, wherever we abide, we choose either life or death. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. An analogy: imagine sunshine that beats on butter and clay. Butter melts, but clay hardens. The heat of sun is the same in both cases, but there are 2 different reactions to the heat and 2 different results. The effect depends on the material. In the case of Pharaoh, one may say that it deepened upon the attitudes of his heart toward God and his people. What free will choices are you going to make in the next day or so? If you know what the right choice is, how can you prepare yourself to make it?